J-Man. I am Jason, defender of geekdom. My true calling in life was revealed to me the day I had discovered YouTube. I have the power! I became J-Man, the most powerful geek in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret. My friends Steven, Owen, and Sean. Together, we defend geekdom from the evil forces of social media. J-Man. Hey guys, J-Man here in the Phantom Zone, and today we're going to be talking about 90s comics, and usually we look at whatever month we're on. Last time I think we did November. So we looked at the November releases of 1990 and discussed all the comics that came out. But today we're going to discuss a CBR article, and I'll get more into that in just a second. Before we get into all of that, I just want to quickly give everybody a couple of updates. So Saturday night, we're going to be back in the Phantom Zone. We're going to talk about everything that's come out throughout the week. We have open mics, so you guys can come in from the chat and talk to us live on the stream. So that's every Saturday. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then this Monday, I will be on Clobberin Time's channel talking about an issue of Batman, number 321. It's Joker's birthday, and he's out to kill a bunch of people. So that's going to be really, really fun to talk about. The link to the link to Clobberin Time's channel is in the description of this video and all my videos. And the link to today's article that we're going to talk about is also in the description of this video only, so you guys can follow along. Plus, I'll put it up on the screen in just a moment. Can't do this alone, so got to bring in a friend.
Hey, what's up, man?
Look up, way up.
Way up.
All right, so we're going to be talking about this article from CBR. You could say article.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an internet article written by some dude that needs to make a deadline. So yeah.
Right, like it's CBR. I think Rob Liefeld said this. He's like, if they ever get something right, it'll be the first time they get.
Yeah. Them and we got this covered, or like
we got this. Yeah, all these comic. There's also comicbook.com or
a cosmic book.
Cosmic. Oh my God, is there a cosmicbook.com?
Yeah, cosmicbook.com.
Oh geez, really? Cosmicbook.com. Yeah, you're. Oh no, it's not. That's not. It's not. It's gone now.
Oh, is it?
It's gone now, unless they change their name around.
Yeah,
so it's no longer it's no longer a thing. Like, give me a break.
It used to be there was integrity. When I was a kid, when I was a kid in grade 5, we learned W5, and it's like you had to pick 3 articles in any newspaper, and then pick out what the W5 was, like who, what, where, when, why in each article, and you learn how reporting works, and you learn how getting to the truth works, and that's nowhere to be found anymore. It's like, I don't know what kids learn anymore. I guess kids don't learn that. I don't know.
Yeah, who, what, when, where, why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and how.
And how, yeah. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a thing anymore. It just write a bunch of stuff, and it's true because it's on the internet. It's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Hey Scott, thanks for popping in. We were here like an hour and a half early. Dude, the best comics. Of course, the 90s comics deserve love. Thanks, man. I think you're on the Rob Liefeld group. I think that's where
it's awesome.
Yeah. That's a great group to be a part of. I should put the link. There's actually a 90s group as well.
Oh yeah.
That I'm on for Facebook. It's pretty good. But the Rob Liefeld one is like super active.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and you post something and everyone's like, yeah, that's awesome. So we'll get into the article in just a second. The article is the 10 90s comic tropes we're glad are gone. That's what the article is.
We're not, but they are.
They're glad they're gone, and we're gonna see. I only skimmed the article because I want this to be more of a live reaction to the article.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second. So Sean and I have been going through some of these pulps or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just started Operator 5, number 1.
Yeah, the covers for that look intriguing. Like there's always some mayhem happening with like cool colors and stuff.
Yeah, so this guy here in the corner.
Yeah.
We're going from the 90s to the 30s. No, this guy in the corner here, he's literally has the ability to remove all of the power. It's basically like an electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah.
It cancels out all the power in the city or whatever, and then in the cover of darkness they come and rob banks and stuff like that.
Hey, Raquel.
Hey, Raquel.
Hey.
So they basically come and they rob stuff during the cover of night. And Operator 5 has to. Thanks, Raquel. We appreciate
thanks so
that.
much, Raquel.
We'll get viewers now that you shared it. It's like
nice to see you.
No, you know what? Nobody follows me anymore because I like literally have muted everything. I muted restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
And then someone, did I tell you this, Sean? Someone unsubbed me or whatever. Or did I tell you this?
No.
Oh my God! Well, I'm not going to mention the person's name.
Yeah.
But somebody had messaged me asking me about the Snyderverse and if I'm happy that. You know,
oh no! You told me this.
I told you, will it be restored? Like, you know, will it be restored or something? I was like, well, I despise it, so I don't want it restored. And the person was like, are you joking or are you just being funny? I was like, you know, are you joking? Are you being funny? Are you being real? I'm like, no, I'm being real. I despise it. And I'm like, I muted the hashtag. You muted? Yeah, I know. So I muted it, and he unsubbed me. He unfollowed me. I'm like, dude.
Oh, really?
He
was into the Snyderverse, I guess.
I don't understand how he's been like a member, like a subscriber, and he's followed me for a long time. I don't know how he didn't pick up on the fact that I hate the Snyder. I don't know. But the thing is that I've never blocked anyone or muted anyone. And I know people do it because they have to do it it depends on your channel. You know, once the channel gets bigger, who knows, you know, obviously if there's bots, we mute them or we block them or whatever. But actually I won't block anyone. And I don't delete comments or any of that kind of stuff. I won't do it. Sometimes YouTube blocks it though. So if anyone is watching this at a later date, just know too that hey Crimson Ghost. Okay, dude, I followed you back. I followed you on Twitter, so follow me back, and then we can send links and stuff. So I won't block people. I won't remove comments either. And I've clicked on allow all comments for all my streams, and I've clicked on allow all comments for my videos. But YouTube sometimes blocks them anyways. So
Crimson Ghost.
Yeah, Crimson Ghost is cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I love Crimson Ghost. That's a great cereal. And it's what's it called? Misfits logo. But so sometimes YouTube blocks anyways because I'll see comments and I'm like, what happened? Like, why did I lose?
Oh, thank you, Raquel.
One is brilliant. Uh-oh. Wait, I gotta have something on that one. Hold on. I know.
I know which one you're looking.
Oh no, I'm gonna play Becky. No, I'll give this one. There you go. That one we got something for sure. Hold
on. It's funny. So I'll say this much: at work, we have we may or may not have Microsoft Teams, right?
Right.
And they encourage us to use this and the chat function as well. And the chat function for Microsoft Teams has GIFs.
Oh yeah.
I love going through just looking up stuff and seeing if they have a GIF for it. And the WWE GIFs for that are insanely awesome. There's like, because they're so cartoony, like the way they do things, that like there's something for everything, like going like that, or right. Oh, like, you know, there's all sorts of stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Well, they have to be more animated because it's like theater. Like the guy who paid his $10 and he's like in the nosebleeds. He can't see what's going on, so they really have to like exaggerate the movement.
It's so funny. And like Brock Lesnar going, oh, like that.
Brock Lesnar's crazy. It's like, I mean, I don't know.
The Rock's eye rolls or goes, oh, like that. Yeah.
I still go back to my Flash.
That's the best.
She's the best.
She's just like stunned.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, so the guy unfollowed me. I'm like, oh, okay. And the thing is like, you're not really representing your Snyder people in the best light, because if I don't like one thing, you've unfollowed me.
Well, that's the thing about
and it's like my entire life is superheroes, and not only that, I bought all those garbage Zack Snyder movies anyways. So it's like, I buy all Superman related. Like, people who are like, oh, I love Superman. It's like, okay, but I buy everything Superman related, even the things that I don't like, because I want to have a Superman collection that has everything. It has representation, and I understand the character has changed from Action Comics 1 to Action Comics 1050 or whatever just came out this week.
No, polarization is what everyone's about nowadays. That's the thing. Like for the past 10, 15 years, it's gotten worse and worse. It's like, why can't you be friends with someone who has differing opinions from you? I've never, and maybe I'll say it, I'll be the old man and say it may be an age thing too. It's like you get older and there's perspective, and it's like you're friends with people that don't agree with you or don't vote the same way as you, but you're friends with them for other reasons, and and you bond over things and stuff like that. It's like someone doesn't like the Snyderverse and you do, and you block them. That's kind of a lack of perspective. It's like, and it's younger people, right? But
I voted for the Green Party.
It's overtaken mainstream everything, like pop culture and internet. I'm the old man saying this, sorry, but yeah.
No, I was gonna say, I voted for the Green Party. And I remember I told you guys that. The other night, like, what? I'm like, well, the environment, it's all right.
Yeah.
Keep it around. I don't know. Every time I do those voting polls, I'm not. It's like 40. I'm 46%. Like, it's I can't agree with anybody, and I can't even find someone who's more.
I don't understand people that agree with everything 100% from one party. It's like, wow, like, I guess this party was tailor made for you, but
I can't get there, because like some things I'm like, well, this sounds crazy, right? So
it's like, well, wait a minute, perspective here. Like, anyway.
I got this one today, though. This came in.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, the 4K?
Yeah, the 4K with the soundtrack.
Wow.
And I flipped the cover for the original.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And I got Expect No Mercy today.
It looks, pardon, what?
I got Expect No Mercy Blu-ray today.
Oh, Expect No Mercy Blu-ray. Yeah, I saw that on, what was it, Vinegar?
Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
And my buddy Owen from the Action-Elite.com, linked to his channels in the description, gave me the making of Highlander.
Oh yeah,
so cool. This is pretty cool. Look at the cover, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? It's a produced thing, man.
It's not the making of Highlander 2, but I guess Highlander 1 is okay too.
Yeah.
I follow you before we. I don't know what's going on, Crimson Ghosts. We're like the strangers that can't meet, whatever. Yeah,
I can't do it as well as you.
I can't do it. Okay, what is the Wii? I don't know what the Wii is. I may have missed.
I just know Raquel does it on Clubhouse and all that. So,
Raquel, I don't know what the Wii is. It may have started before I knew Clobby, because I don't know what it is. I thought at first it was the opening of the doors or something, like, and they go Wii, and
I thought it was just excitement,
or the calling when they call Kirk or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But thoughts on Neymar not going to. Oh, I mean, we're going to beat that. We'll beat that up on Saturday, Crimson Ghost. There's a lot to talk about on that. He's not from Atlantis.
Yeah, to try and be different than Aquaman.
Right, but it
then it's not Namor.
It's not. It's not yet. I mean, that is very odd to me.
Yeah.
They did it with Wonder Woman by putting her in World War I instead of World War II, to not compete against Captain America, as though Captain America and Wonder Woman are somehow the same thing. I don't get that. Yeah. Namor and Aquaman, Arthur, or whatever, are similar, but Namor predates Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Namor is, I think, technically the first. It's between him and Human Torch. he's technically the first Marvel character.
Right.
Like WTF, man? Like, we'll give this guy, and that. Oh, actually, you can see it. That right there is a Neymar shelf. It's all Neymar stuff. I'm using this camera. The reason I'm using this camera is because this is on my monitor that's really big.
Yeah.
And I can't read stuff. Like, I'm going to read an article. First of all, I can't read. That's one obstacle. So that it's going to be tough. Number 2, I'm the worst out loud reader voted by the majority in Canada.
Me too. I'm pretty bad.
Number 3, I can't see anything. So I'm like in the top 5 blindest people in Canada. So I need the biggest screen possible. So I'm using this camera, which isn't as cool as my other one because you got my whole backdrop, right? You already had your piece on it? Yeah. So yeah, any other
that whole thing is giving me Curse of the Pink Panther vibes. It's like
oh my god,
like the main guy dies and then they insist on making a new movie. It's like no.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman would not have wanted this to become.
Yeah, just kill the character. I don't think he would want that. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't. Anyway,
it's 33C. Oh, you're saying, it's 33 degrees. Yeah, I know.
What is it here? It's about that.
No, it's like 31. I just went out for a walk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I try to do my 10,000.
I love the hot weather, but yeah.
You like hot weather? Oh, man, that's not.
Well, we got a backyard, just like sit out there in the shade, and it's nice. I hate cold weather. My fingers seize up, they get sensitive, any little thing hurts them. I hate the cold weather, man.
Well, I don't want snow.
My forehead freezes.
Oh my god! Look at my forehead. Mine's like way bigger than yours. Like,
yeah.
How many fingers is yours?
I think we're all
it's the same.
4, but my fingers are smaller, right? So.
I don't mind the cold. Okay. I think light jacket is good. No, but you look cooler in jackets.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I look cooler in a jacket.
Well, I like jackets because I could put things in the pockets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why I like
jackets are a good invention. All right, let's share this garbage article.
Oh boy.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go to the other screen here, so I won't see comments for just a second or two while I just kind of align this. Okay, so this is from CBR. The link to this article is in the description of the video. If you care to read, I'm going to attempt to read it to you. 10 90s comics tropes we're glad are gone by Sage Ashford. That sounds like a fake name.
Sage Ashford.
I just looked it up on fakenames.com and yep, it came up there.
It's like Xander Cage.
But no, Xander Cage. I'm naming, if I had a kid, I'd name him Xander Cage just to make that a real.
John Matrix? From
John Matrix is
because and you said it's like last names are from olden times where they took something and they made names. Like, who made the name Matrix?
Right, yeah, because it used to be like Underhill, and it's like it's the guy who lives under the hill.
John's son, right?
Right, yeah. So it would be like your location or something, or the butcher. It's like, he's the butcher. It's like that's how you got your last names. Like, who is Matrix? Like, Matrix isn't a thing. Like, they wouldn't have known about that.
Yeah.
But John Matrix is. We should do a stream on the best names. I'm trying to think, like, what are some great action hero names? Oh gosh, there's a lot of good ones.
China O'Brien.
China O'Brien is awesome. Yeah.
There's some cool ones.
Yeah, like there's so many.
Yeah,
but we'll have to do that. I'll need to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 90s were often a mixed bag. While there were great stories, there were also some problematic tropes. Thankfully, most didn't return. So this was published on July 15, 2022 by Sage Ashford on CBR.com, comic book resource. So we got a picture here of our good buddy Azrael as Batman, and you got Spider-Man here with Nova, and these are the New Warriors or something, right?
The New Warriors, yeah.
Okay. The 90s often gets a bad rap for comic books, even though there were some classic comic books launched during that time period. Marvel got a refresh the company desperately needed, while DC learned to adapt to a world that asks for darker heroes without actually making most of their heroes any darker. Yeah, I guess. That's. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, but that's true of almost every decade.
Yeah.
90s onward, I would say, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the reputation the 90s have for comic books is still somewhat warranted. There are elements from that era of comics that made things worse as a whole, like the comic book collapse thanks to the speculator boom. Fortunately, many of those tropes are gone and hopefully stand no chance of making any kind of return to modern comics, right? Because modern comics are selling in the millions, like they were before. Thank God we've gotten rid of that, silly thing.
Oh God, thank
selling
God
millions
we
of
did
dollars.
that in the bud. Yeah.
Guys, we're selling millions of dollars. Not millions of dollars.
We almost made millions of dollars. Holy crap!
Yeah, we almost sold 1 million comics. What the hell? We gotta stop it.
We gotta stop this.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay, so this is the 10th one that they're happy to go. Every important comic had a gimmick cover. Now, I mean, okay, so publishers in the 90s did everything to generate interest in comics. Besides making people actually want to read the comics, that's false.
Yeah.
Because they're still doing this crap now.
Paddington. Hold on for a second.
Yeah. All right, I'll read the rest of it. Okay.
Yep.
That's not to say the books were bad, just that marketing didn't focus on how good the stories were. Instead, everything was a number one or a collector's item. Many of those comics had a kind of fancy cover gimmick, so people knew just how important, in quotes, a comic was without even opening it up. These days, there's a ton of variant covers, so this didn't entirely go away. Wait, right, exactly. But getting rid of those ugly chromium covers was for the best, especially considering marketing like this was a large part of how the industry collapsed. Okay, so, I mean, there's a lot of crap here to talk about. First of all, interest in comics was already there. It just grew. It expanded. It wasn't like there was zero interest and now these gimmick covers brought people in to get excited about. So that's a bunch of crap. They still do it now. Right. There's 4 million variants and there is a number one issue. I go to the comic shop every week when Sean just left to go to the comic store because he's so excited. There's a number one all the time. There are so many number ones. They reboot them. I mean, I don't think anything goes past like 40 or 50 without getting rebooted. That's basically telling you that every 3 or 4 years, your major characters are getting rebooted. And then I go to the shop, there is so many variant covers of all this stuff. So I'm not seeing any difference right now, except it's worse because the comics that had all those really cool looking covers and number ones were still fun to read. These are now either overly politicized to the point where you can't read them without feeling as though you're betraying something. It's like, or you can't even enjoy it. It's like, so Sean, I don't know if you heard me. So it's like, okay, so basically they do variant covers all the time.
Yeah.
And there's number ones every 3 years. It's like everyone gets rebooted.
But I think what they're, my stupid dog. I think what they're talking about though is the gimmick covers. They don't really do that as much anymore, like right. Die cut and foil cover and all that stuff. But in terms of gimmickry, I think variant covers are worse.
Yes, it's a gimmick.
They don't give you any value at all. And yeah, number ones are a gimmick as well. Like that's a gimmick. So in terms of gimmickry, yeah, the problem with the variant covers, the gimmick covers was that they boosted the prices for those. So when you're buying like a die cut, they only gave you the die. There wasn't like a variant of like a normal cover and the die cut one. You didn't have a choice. So you're buying an extra cost Wolverine with a slash through it or something like that, and you had no choice. I think that was the only problem with that. But nowadays all comics are like $6 to $10. So
right. They're super expensive anyways. They're way more than they were during this time for sure. Paper costs have gone up because I'm in the paper industry. We make boxes and stuff. Paper costs have gone up a lot in the mills, especially it's gone up like hundreds of %. Like there's been at least since November 2019, there's been 3. There's been 5 paper increases. and they're about 12% each or whatever. So it has gotten a lot more expensive for paper. But I mean, number one is a gimmick, and they do them all the time. And variant covers are worse because some people buy all the variant covers. It's like, okay, there's one chromium cover and it costs $1 more. Yeah, but there was just that one.
Yeah.
So you still bought it. And the other thing is that you wanted it. It wasn't so much that it's like, oh, you don't want that. It's like people wanted that comic. This one, they're buying the same interior comic for 1 page of difference on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like $6-7 a piece. That's crazy. I mean, I bought 3 Prophet covers this week.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, I mean, that's bullshit. And so it's still around. So that's a lie. Oh, we're glad this is gone. And then
it's people complain about. He's talking specifically about those gimmick covers.
Yeah, but it is. But variants are a gimmick, and he says it, and he says it himself. He's like, "Oh, I know there's this."
Yeah, and they do that all the time now. Yeah,
all the time.
I just want the normal cover.
It's one gimmick to another, though. Like the base, the core point is that it's a gimmick. Well, they're still doing the gimmicks right now.
My problem with modern comics is that they never learned any lessons from the 90s, and that like a lot of the things that we complained about back then, they still do. And it's weird if you like. I was on and off with comics, and I'm back into it pretty big. But the thing is, I'm just disappointed that it's like I don't think they mention the multi-part events and stuff. But like it's the same models. It's like they never went like they never evolved from that, and it, like the variant covers kind of surprises me that there's still variant covers. Like, you gotta be kidding me! It's like 30 years later, and you're still chasing that X-Men money. It's like, well, you gotta be kidding me.
Plus, shops have to order a certain amount to get other variants.
Yeah.
So it's a scam.
Yeah.
These weren't a scam. It was one book with a weird cover. Yeah. It was one book with a gimmick cover. Yeah, but it's still one book. You order the same amount. You order a bunch of copies. They sell.
Yeah.
It's like, anyways. Number 9. This is a Joe Jusko from the Marvel Masterpiece.
Forge or whatever.
Forge from, and not Forge. It's Bishop from the.
It's Bishop. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cancel me.
Yeah, anyway. Oh my God. 90s characters were obsessed with guns and knives. My God. Okay, so throughout much of comic book history, guns were rarely seen as something that made anything better. But with the Punisher's increasing popularity and a growing gun culture in America, suddenly the comics had to deal with a ton of characters built around weapons. Gone were the creative weapons and devices characters used in place of guns. As things like the comics code authority eased up, the combat creativity in comics felt like it vanished in favor of weapons people could easily find in real life. Well, that's a lie. Where's this gun? Who can get that in real life?
Yeah, they made the guns like big. Well, especially Rob Liefeld guns were like big, like sci-fi weaponry.
They're future guns. You can't really get them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, and the knives were big, like crazy ass, like they look like axes, right?
Right.
It was just escapism, and like it was like in the 80s, everything was the glorification of military and stuff, like A-Team and G.I. Joe, and then 90s was sort of like the exaggeration of that, right? But it was fun. It was fun. It's like I always think of with this, I think of Quentin Tarantino was being interviewed by some local news girl, like some entertainment beat thing, and she kept asking him like, why the violence? Like, why are movies so violent? And then he's like, because it's fun. I don't. It's like, no, I'm not reflecting real life. And it's like, yeah, if something like this happened in a room, you would try to stop it. But like, it's fun on the screen. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You escape into it, right? And with guns and knives, like the exaggerated guns and knives and stuff of the 90s, it was fun. And now, like, everyone's just blasting people with powers, if they even use them at all. Things are too sensible in comics nowadays. That's kind of the problem. Like, if you have to think 3 or 4 times before putting something on a page, you've failed. It's like you're not making fun comics. Your comics will sell. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like the weapons look cool, and you're like, yeah, this looks awesome. Like,
They look neat.
it's like guns and knives. Well, Rambo had guns and knives. Like, I mean, people are pumped up for it. It's and none of these are realistic looking guns.
Yeah.
Right, and you can't bring them to comic conventions anyways. They have to be tagged. Yeah, if you're a cosplayer and you try to bring weapons in, they're all over you, eh? Like, you got to register everything and all that. So it's like, it's not, you got to be really dedicated to that character to come dressed, you know, if you're gonna do Bishop and have a gun like this or something, right?
Yeah.
All right, so number 8, the constant need to create hip characters.
Oh boy.
Okay, so this, I mean, okay. Oh boy, yeah. Every generation introduces new characters who are meant to represent the era. Well, I mean, you know, not to throw Snowflake and Safe Space under the bus.
I was gonna say, it's like they're the poster children of this, right?
It's like
I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying, though.
I get what they're saying, but don't pretend like it's not happening now with your trash characters.
But it's happening in a different way. So what they're saying here is like with new technologies, it's like with new fads, they always made heroes and stuff. Number one, that's not unique to the 90s at all.
Right.
In fact, if you're going specifically with like you know, skateboarding is cool, so let's make a skateboarding hero, then that kind of thing actually went away in the 90s. I think in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s, that thing was kind of big. Like Rocket Racer was like a dude on a roller, like my brain, on a skateboard.
Yeah.
and I remember in Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, Stan Lee created a character called Video Man, which was a video game character that comes alive and stuff. And the intent was have him in 2 episodes of that show, and then he'll be in Marvel Comics after that, because everyone loves video games. Here's a video game guy. It's like, but it wasn't. It was just a stupid like cash in, you know. Stuff like that, you know, like I'm sure they're rapping superheroes and stuff like that too, but that kind of thing wasn't unique to the 90s. And I would say that it kind of went into the other, I mean, the New Warriors are depicted here. Right. And later on, the New Warriors kicked off Civil War in like the 2000s, because they were a reality show group. So they had their own reality show, and that whole storyline was in there because it was cashing in on the fad of reality shows that were big at the time, right? So it didn't die with it didn't really.
Okay, look, let me tell you what they're really saying in this article. They're saying the cheesy characters with skateboards, thank God that's gone. But that's not what your article is supposed to be saying. It's supposed to be a trope. The trope is not, oh, we think skateboards are cheesy, so we're glad that kind of thing is gone. The fact of the matter is that you're using whatever is modern day trend. Dazzler, like disco and stuff, they introduced Disco Dazzler. It's like, yeah, that's weird. It's like they introduce a lot of crap.
Dazzler. But they specifically say exhibiting off characters who resemble the youth. Safe Space and Snowflake, and all of the gender identity, politics, all of the so-called wokeism of today. And race swapping and everything is totally and exactly that. They see that like there are trends supposedly showing that youth is more left-leaning and stuff and likes causes like this, and so they throw all this at the, and it's even more pervasive, this sort of pandering to that sort of demographic by showing trends, just hollow trends, now than ever before. I mean, almost every comic exhibits this, right?
Right. Yeah. Now it's so bad. The way it was here was like, look, they thought this would be cool. They made a cool looking character. Okay. And then it is what it is. And then maybe it worked and it didn't work. But yeah, so every generation introduces new characters who are meant to represent the era. It's how comics bring in new fans, showing off characters who resemble the youth. However, the 90s took this a step too far. I would say no. Every character had to be hip. Well, yeah, you want to have a cool character, which meant making them skateboarders or giving them some other extreme hobby or talking in slang or whatever. It's like, yeah, okay.
Right, but I could say that for now and change that sentence to need to be hip, which meant identifying as XYZ, you know, like dyeing their hair blue or red or whatever. It's the same thing now, and it's actually even worse now.
It's way worse now.
Yeah,
because it's so transparent.
Yeah,
it's like super transparent, and it's really off-putting. And it's you know what, guys, they're not reading the room. Nobody who's into this kind of garbage is reading these comics. It's like you're not even reflecting your audience.
Well, even like the Jonathan Kent Superboy or Superman or whatever the heck is like protesting against, like, you know, protesting for causes and stuff like that. That's very pandering, you know, and it has almost nothing to do with the overall concept and story, right?
I don't know, it has nothing to do with anything. Where's the fun adventure of Superman? Hey, Joe. Hey, Phantom Aside, I want to say hey to you and say hey to Joe.
Yeah, when was Night Thrasher ever hip? You're right.
I know, really.
Yeah.
Creative characters. So, in other words, this was a Poochie the dog problem.
Yeah, Poochie.
Yeah.
He went to his home planet. Yeah.
So basically, these tropes are still going on now, and they're pretending like they're not. They're just they're named something different.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, since many of these characters were created by an older generation, they were out of touch at best and making the caricatures out of the cultures at worst. Okay, so yeah, right. Well, they're super out of touch now. We could see that no comics are selling anything. Everyone writing comics now is super out of touch with their audience, big time.
Yeah.
In the time since then, the creators have diversified. Yeah, they've diversified so that nobody buys anything. And attempts to create new characters assembling cultures specifically improved. No, it has not improved. It has gotten worse. It has gotten way worse, as we've said. It's literally pandering, and it's not even working. Because the thing is like, for us, if you introduce a guy, oh, this guy's got a cool gun, or this guy's got a skateboard, you might be like, oh, this guy looks cool, then you buy the comic. Yeah. Now they're introducing characters to represent today's youth or diversity, but nobody buys it, or it gets canceled, or like that New Warriors, you know, or whatever, the New Warriors, or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And I actually pre-ordered that. I was like, I'm gonna get this and rip it to shreds, and it never even came out, so I didn't have a chance to rip it to shreds. That was number 8. So number 7, the 90s had edgy names that sound ridiculous now. Okay, well, what sounds ridiculous to who? I don't know.
Well, Deadpool has 2 movies that are about like $2 billion. So
that's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous. It's like, I'm sorry.
Deadpool appeared in Deadpool 2. So
like literally Deadpool. It's like the top most. What is it? The top money making R movie? Yeah, I think it's.
Oh yeah, I think so.
It is.
Yeah,
they made $1 billion a piece or whatever, right?
About $700 to $800 million or so each.
Yeah,
so almost $2 billion. Yeah,
so that's pretty good. Okay,
yeah.
Superman and Batman aren't the most original names for characters. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Sage Ashford. But they're still iconic compared to today's names from the 90s. Everything has some variation of gun, blade, war, blood, or some violent verb or noun. Yeah, okay.
And we all made fun of that too.
We made fun of that. And I've got that thing where it's like, create your own character where you take the initials of your first name, you take your initial and then your other initial, and then you put it together, and then your name is like, gun killer or something. So I mean, okay, so that's it. But the names are bad now too. They're not even trying. Snowflake and Snave Space were like really the bad. So to convey how tough the characters were. Yes, okay, made sense at the time. 30 years later, it's hard to not think of these generic. With a little help standing from another. Iron Man. Okay, Tony Stark isn't a copy of anyone else. He's the one people copy. Well, I don't know about that. Because like all characters came from something else.
Yeah.
Like nobody is super original. Maybe the first ever guys like the Shadow or something. But like Batman is basically Zorro, Shadow, Spider. Like Superman is like Doc Savage, or whatever. Like, I mean, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think I miss these names, like a Domino and all that, and just these cool like Bloodstrike and all this bullshit, right? Ripclaw was the best, but like I
started to get confused between Ripclaw and Warblade.
Yeah,
like wait, which one is which?
Yeah, Warblade, I think. Did he not have like mega long fingers or whatever?
He has Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Fingers.
And Ripclaw. Oh no,
Ripclaw has those too, but he's the native guy.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, like
Warblade extends stuff. Like he makes blades.
Yeah.
Like,
so in the 80s, we grew up in the 80s, and the thing about the 80s is, like, with the advent of all these boy toy lines, they would always make these crazy, like, especially Hasbro did this a lot. They make these crazy names for these characters, like the G.I. Joe code names and everything, and the Transformer names and all that stuff. They're all cool, and I think that sort of bled into the 90s stuff. Like, those guys were kind of geeks for that kind of stuff. So then when they made characters, they made, Rip Claw and Warblade and all this cool stuff that would, like, basically these Hasbro-ish type of names, right? And they were awesome. And the thing was, they were descriptive to what they did, as you just displayed, right? And the thing, and they were cool sounding, and they sold comics, Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, you could say it's not iconic. Well, it's only as iconic as the character itself. So, like, we just said, like, Deadpool lives on today. And right. Deadpool totally comes from that era of, like, naming characters with, like, dead or blood or kill or whatever
right.
in their
and
name.
And swords, right? And guns.
Yeah.
And he's basically Spider-Man with swords and guns, which Rob Liefeld has said.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so it's all of these tropes that you're saying. It's like, thank God they're gone. Yeah, but I'm sure the writer of this loves Deadpool. So, women characters were frequently used for blatant fan service. I mean, fan service, so like they
he's trying to say they sexed them up and stuff.
They sexed them up. Yeah. Well, so the guys were sexed up too.
Yeah.
Jim Lee.
They were. That's true, but like, yeah.
Every single Jim Lee character is like a Greek god.
Jacob, one butt shot per issue, yeah.
Per issue. Jacob Marlowe is a dwarf, and he's hyper, like, thick and like muscular. There's not any dwarf or little person. I don't know what I'm supposed to say anymore. There's not any little person that is that buffed up. Like, it's outrageous. So what are you talking about? Everyone looked good. It's comics. It's like, that's the point of it.
Yeah.
And this is Wonder Woman and Artemis here. I think I have this issue too. This is actually the cover of a trade paperback, which collects the last few run of Wonder Woman. I have this one.
I like that whole Artemis storyline. It was cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, she becomes Wonder Woman or whatever.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman's like a mercenary.
Agent, she's like, I thought she's like some agent or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, but everything was fan servicey. It's like, that's what people wanted.
Instead of specializing in compelling tales that will preserve all readers coming.
Oh, I didn't see this bottom part.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, various comic companies felt the need to offer fan service to their large male fan base. Okay, yeah, so feeling that it would increase their sales.
Scantily clad girls caught. Yeah, I mean, like, that was a big thing in the 90s. They've moved away from that since. You can say that was something designed to sell comics to boys. You'd be right. I mean, like, a lot of boys bought, like, Vampirella became huge at that time to the point where I thought it was a new character, but she was around since like the 70s. She was an old character, right? But yeah, I mean, but to your point about sexing up, I think people noticed the women more, but the men were always mega buff and mega, like, tight butts. And it's like, it was an ideal that I could never live up to, and others couldn't. So yeah,
I
don't know. So, they don't really do this now, but the thing is, they go too far to the other side. It's like, I'm fine with the feminine form, and I think women are too. It's just like, they don't want everyone dressed as hookers, right? But like, now it's like, Captain Marvel is routinely drawn like she's from the cast of Golden Girls or something.
Yeah, why does she look so trashy? Like,
she looks weird or masculine or something. It's like, you can draw a pretty woman. I mean, it's still nature. It's still natural, right? But, if you don't want to draw her like sexed up, sure, but like, draw the curves and the feminism and the feminine line.
You can't tell it's a woman.
Yeah, she's a woman. There you go.
Message.
Yeah.
That's the message. All right. The medium is the message. No. Everyone, okay, number 5, everyone wore armor instead of their normal costumes. I mean, I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, they had an armor sort of, they had a storyline where there was not, this one's stretching. I read this before. So most characters had some sort of a storyline where they had to power up somehow with some armor, right? There's the whole Asbats. There's Superman with his black, like it wasn't really armor, it was just a different costume. Spider-Man had like a that silver spider at one point, but it was just for like one issue. This is stretching. It wasn't, I mean, it was a trope where they would just throw something in for a storyline, but it wasn't meant to be the thing for like the costume for, you know, the next 50 years or something like that. The only one they did that with was Daredevil. No one liked that costume, so they went back, you know.
Well, it's funny because these are tropes that are gone now. Mm-hmm. So I super agree with that, because nobody in any live action film wears armor. They all wear tights, like they're comic books, right? They're all in tights, right? Yeah. No, they're all armor. Like the Flash.
No, but that's not what they're saying. There's a costume change that's armor, and that's. But this one's stretching. When you read it, it's like, yeah, but I don't know. It's just cool storylines where they did that for a bit and then they went away from it. It's just shaking things up for like a few issues.
Yeah,
like,
and this is number 5.
Calm yourself.
And it's not gone. This concept of using armor against in place of their original costumes, but that's what everyone's costume in live action movies is armor.
Yeah, the Superman Unchained armor. Well, no, but the Superman Unchained armor is like it's Superman armor, and it's and for a few issues and going like this still happens. I don't really know where they're going with this. If they're talking about costume changes that were stupid and meant to be the thing going forward, like the norm going forward, then yeah, I mean they tried to do that as a gimmick back then. I don't know if that's what they're saying here.
I don't know either, but it doesn't matter. Everyone uses armor now in live action. I don't care if it's comics or not. They're using it anyways, so it has not gone away. Like the Daredevil blue and red plated armor. Yeah, I mean, if it's like Superman was electric, so are they gonna say, oh, they tried to make everybody electric? It's like, yeah, but it's only for a little bit just to kind of change it around. Like comics that have gone on forever. When you've got, you know, like 10,050 issues of Action Comics, there's going to be a few in there where Superman's going to look different and behave differently. It's not supposed to be Superman Prime. Yeah. He lost the trunks in U-52, and then they brought him back because everyone's like, he looks weird. People are just like, we just want normal Superman. They're like, oh, okay, and then they brought it back. And
but even in the example they give, it's like a Catwoman donned armor. And then they say it was short-lived. It's like, yeah, it was a story. You don't like this? And it's like they did it to shake things up. They probably sold a lot of comics as a result. You don't like that.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
The anti-hero was portrayed as more effective than traditional heroes. Okay, after years of characters like Wolverine and the Punisher became increasingly popular throughout comics, creators realized that they need to get with the times, quote, just like they're doing now, right? Get with the times. Suddenly, it wasn't cool to be a pacifist or to protect people because it was the right thing to do. When does Superman in any modern thing right now in modern media protect anybody? It's like, oh, okay. Every hero had to be tortured past to get involved in fighting villains because they had to get their proper vengeance. Superhero comics were meant to be the place where readers could see the best versions of humanity, but the 90s turned those heroes into characters with more extreme flaws than an average person.
So I get what they're saying here.
I get what they're saying.
Do you remember, because you like Captain America and Superman and all that stuff from that time, right? Did they compromise those characters back then?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Now, did they also have stories where they teamed up with a guy like a Punisher or something like that, and that character in that story did a better job of what they were doing?
No.
I actually don't remember. You know, we had reviewed that one comic of Spider-Man and Punisher, where Punisher is doing his thing, he's killing fools, and Spider-Man's like, do you really have to do that? And he's stopping him from doing that. In that comic, it is a Spider-Man comic, but Spider-Man's right in that. That's the thing. I think nowadays this applies. This cynicism of like, well, you know, these other tougher ways, or you know, or like, it's more sinister now in that like heroism shouldn't be what it is. It's like you shouldn't be selfless and all that stuff. Back then, though, I think they still held the ideals. If you were reading a Punisher comic, then yeah, Punisher's gonna do these things, and no one's there to tell him, stop. You knew that going in, but I don't think they had any issues where a Punisher or a Wolverine or something like that denigrates what Captain America or a hero does. I don't think that writing was. I don't think that cynicism set in yet.
No, and this one's a lie.
Yeah,
and not only is it a lie, it's way worse today with people's garbage opinions on all the Snyderverse crap and all this other shit where they want all this more. It's like, so that's a lie. So many characters had endless pouches. I mean, is this like the most tiresome thing ever? It's like, stop it. Like,
but they kind of didn't. And they show Asbats, but he didn't. Where's the pouches there? Like, are they seeing all that stuff as pouches?
Yeah,
I always thought it was just like a bandola or something like that.
Well, it's compartments.
Pouches.
Well, they're compartments. Like,
are they? Yeah. I didn't even know that. Why would Jean-Paul Valley put all that? Was he putting in there Tic Tacs? Like, what's in there?
Smoke bombs. It's like it's the utility belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, there's a lot of pouches and compartments. Okay, so what? I mean, it's just an aesthetic thing. Like now, look, there's spikes here. Like now, everyone's in a black costume.
Yeah.
Number 2, the women characters were often killed to raise the stakes.
So I didn't follow a lot of these storylines. Maybe you did. I get what they're saying here, but like I didn't really follow these. Where women like girlfriends and whatnot were threatened or killed. Like there's the whole what's her face in the fridge in Green Lantern. I can't remember. I think was it Carol Ferris?
I don't know. It could be. It would have been Jon Stewart's wife or whatever, right?
Yeah. Like I mean, and they moved away from that kind of thing. I mean, overall they were killing characters anyways, but I get like for dramatic stakes they would kill satellite characters, right? And most often they would be women because usually most of these comics were following the Superman Lois Lane trope. So your satellite character, if you were a male hero, your satellite character was usually a mother figure like an Aunt May or a girlfriend like a Lois Lane. And so it just happened to be a woman. So like we've got to kill someone in their family and it's going to be a woman. I don't think there was anything sinister there.
I think so. I can't comment on this one too much because I don't even think of this as being a thing. Like I don't know how this is number 2. This should have been number 15 or something. This number 2 makes it sound like that this is happening so often. Like this didn't happen at all. Like, or if it did, it's just through the circumstances of the comic, as you said. It's like, oh, they're going to kill Aunt May. It's like, okay, well, who else is there to kill? There's Mary Jane and Aunt May or Gwen.
Yeah, it's all women in his life, right?
Who else is there to kill? Like, and if it's a guy comic, then the worst thing that can happen to him is to lose his wife or his whatever.
Yeah.
That's just a circumstance of the story. Like, how is this number 2? Like, what the heck? The need to replace rather than to add more heroes.
I don't know where to begin with this. Have you read comics lately? Oh my god!
Oh my god! No, this is not happening now at all. Except every character is not who they're.
There's 2 Captain America titles with 2 different Captain Americas right now.
2 Supermans
right both.
There's 2 Supermans right now.
Yeah.
There's 2.
This article's this month. Superman. Yeah.
There's Ms. Marvel. There's Captain Marvel. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Pick your Marvel. It's like. There's Hulk and She-Hulk right now.
There's Batwing and Batman, but Batwing is called Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
Right there, and there's Batwoman and Batgirl or whatever. It's like, what are you talking about?
Whatever happened to I guess I have to follow up with that. I can't remember his name, but whatever happened to the Korean Hulk man? He had his own comic and Totally Awesome Hulk or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like whatever happened to that guy?
Let's see.
Where are they now? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Amadeus. Oh. Yes, you know what? He lost. I think he lost the Hulk. This was during Immortal Hulk and stuff.
Okay.
And I forgot what happened to him.
Right. I remember something like that. Yeah. Everyone talks about that nowadays. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Amadeus Cho. Yeah, I forgot about that Hulk.
Amadeus Cho. Yeah.
There's so many Hulks. Like, stop.
No,
I don't know.
what exactly are they saying here? Sorry, I need to read.
Okay, so new heroes are added to existing characters' worlds all the time, but the 90s used a different method of approach. Creators appeared hesitant to let their superheroes exist in the more violent world depicted in the 90s comics. Many of them decided to try and quote-unquote fix characters. However, the 90s weren't interested in adding superheroes. Instead, creators straight up replaced their traditional heroes, often with grittier, more violent versions. Wonder Woman suddenly got replaced by Artemis, Superman was replaced by Eradicator, and Thunderstrike took over for Thor. These new characters would carve out their own place in DC and Marvel, but not before both companies tried to replace some of their iconic characters for good.
Okay, the thing is, that might have been a trope in the 90s, but number one, he's listing storylines. The Thunderstrike thing, I remember that being sold as this is the way it'll be from now on kind of thing. But it was a story, right? And I was reading Thor at that time. But the Superman thing is like, that was Reign of the Superman. It was a finite
that's a story.
You know, and the whole Artemis thing was a finite story as well. But nowadays, they do it for keeps. At least they tell you this. And this is, if you're saying that it's you're glad it's gone now, and this is number one. Like, this happens, as we said, all the time now, and it's the norm now. Right. There's two Captain America titles,
and one two Superman titles,
Captain America, and one with Sam Wilson, right? And they're both literally called Captain America. And there's that one issue where they're both fighting, and some guy says Captain America, and they're like, yes. And they're making fun of it. And it's like, they do this instead of adding characters or making a new guy. It's like another guy is like, how many Spider-Men are there now?
Well, there's Thor. There's Jane Foster Thor.
Yeah, so the mighty Thor. As like, opposed to Thor.
Right. Like, yeah. I mean, I wish I could respond to this guy, get this guy on the channel here.
But how is that number one when it's like not dead at all? Like at all. Like, they're saying they're trying to frame it as like they replaced him with a more violent or whatever. Right. Okay, but don't mince words. The title of that number one is
need to replace rather than add.
Right. Not the need to replace with a more violent character in a storyline rather than add. No, that's not. You said the need to replace rather than add more heroes. That happens all the time. How many freaking Spider-Men are there? How many? You know, it's craziness nowadays. It's insane. This is actually the number one. Well, it is the number one problem with comics right now. The brand confusion. You know, it's like what? Who's what? You know, you read Action Comics, is not really actually Superman. You know.
No, this is getting really out of hand now with this whole X-Men. Now they want to call it the mutants and all this stuff. It's like, your brand is X-Men. It's like, stop it. I mean, people on the street are so confused.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on in any comic or show or movie. I told you my buddy watched Ms. Marvel, thought it was cool and all that. Yeah. Okay. And if you go and buy the Ms. Marvel comics, that won't be what the show was.
Yeah.
It's like, so like, there's so much brand confusion that it's just crazy. DC's like really brutal.
Yeah.
DC's probably, I don't know who's worse. Man, I don't know who's worse, but like, it's pretty bad. And this is the main reason. It's like, wait, who's Captain America now? It's like, no, that's the Falcon. It's like, stop it. It's like, stop it. Stop it.
He's literally got wings. It's like, dude.
The Falcon is a great character. Is he the first African American? I guess
in mainstream comics, yeah.
He's the first black mainstream comics superhero, right?
Yeah.
And he's not anymore, because now he's not the Falcon. and they have to, legitimize him by calling him Captain America. But I liked Falcon. You remember when we saw Winter Soldier, and I went back and watched my review? I was so pumped for Falcon that I raised that. I was like, yeah, man, Falcon, because I don't care about Bucky in that movie, but I liked Falcon so much.
Yeah.
And then remember we saw Anthony Mackie. He did that entire interview. He's like, oh, I want to have the suit with the wings, and I want kids to dress up with the wings and all that. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many Batman characters do you see? There's so many. Also, where does Batman comes freaking Darksiders? It's like,
let me see if I have him here. Yep. Yeah. The retro figure of him is freaking. It's probably the best retro.
Oh yeah. He's awesome. Yeah.
And you could configure the wings however you want, and he comes with Red Wing. It's so cool, man. Yeah, no, this is probably the best. He looks great.
He looks awesome. Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. God, man.
Those are awesome.
I like them. I know people are like, well, you collect them. It's like, they're cool. They're expensive, but
they're expensive. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's my only issue.
Yeah.
I have like 2 or 3 Cyclops though.
He looks great. Yeah.
He looks great. I wish they would do the X Factor white.
Oh yeah. I think that they have that mold, they'll.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite Cyclops.
Although
I didn't get that tattooed because white wouldn't look good. But I was thinking of maybe getting a smaller version of him in the white and blue. Yeah. As like a smaller tattoo or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there you go. There's our breakdown of this. We've been going
that number one is baffling.
That's really baffling.
Because it's like they do this like that is the norm now, and it's like really bad, So yeah.
90s comics, everyone should read it once. Let's see what that looks like. What was the other one I saw? What other articles? X-Men Definitive Ways. Did that change screen? No, it didn't. What was this? The 10
at least once.
At least once.
Emerald Twilight. Sure. Introducing
Never read it because I never read Green Lantern comics.
Oh no. Mark Waid's Flash.
Didn't read Flash either. Nightfall, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Zero Hour?
I have some of it.
Yeah. Oh, I have this entire run, baby. I like this JSA.
Yeah.
I still kept all these. Long Halloween.
Halloween, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have all this.
Oh yeah.
And
I love JLA 97.
Yeah, this is good too. Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Well, So that.
Oh yeah, sure, guy. Okay.
That wasn't too bad.
But who wrote that one?
Oh yeah, I didn't see who wrote that one. Let's see who wrote that one. Just as a Gerard.
It's funny they didn't list Marvels, which is another must-read from that time.
Yes.
The real Marvels, not this movie. Yeah.
She's still Wolverine. There's 2 Wolverines. There's Logan and Lara right now, 2 Wolverines. So there you go. Oh, they don't replace people anymore.
But the thing about the 90s was they added characters all the time. Like that's what I miss about the 90s was they're making new characters.
And then they're making fun of the fact that there's new characters.
Man. Yeah.
So their other numbers in their top 10 was, they're making new hip characters and they're making new characters that have blood in their name. It's like, right. So you're saying that there's so many new characters being created that are hip and have weird names that counted for 2 slots. That was 20% of your things that are bad. And now you're saying, well, they don't make new characters. Wow, which one is it?
And along with making new characters, when they did that, a lot of them were diverse. Don't you want that? Ripclaw was a Native American. It's like I don't know what to tell you. It's like that
message.
That Team Youngblood had like a holy, like it was like a Sentinel was black. was her name Musad? Was Israeli?
Yeah,
you know,
Masada.
Yeah, it's like all these characters are like, friggin' Spawn is black. It's like I don't know what to tell you.
He's like a
He's
flagship
the most
character.
popular indie comic character of all time. It's like, what the hell?
We bought all the toys.
Oh yeah, and all the comics back then.
So I don't know.
And paid the ticket to watch the movie. So, yeah.
And I got the poster and the soundtrack and the toys of that.
Yep.
It's like, oh boy.
Whew. But yeah, along with those new characters came a lot of diversity as well. Yeah. And it's funny, like I would say that if the Image Boys were around today, if they exploded now, they would be seen as woke because they were. It's like there's a Filipino in there, and what is Jim Lee like? What is he like?
Oh, he's
like
Chinese or something.
Yeah,
he's definitely half Chinese.
But beyond that, it's like they're mostly white and stuff, right? But they were making black characters and all sorts of different kinds of like the Israeli character and all that stuff. So
yeah, Jim Lee's Korean.
Yeah.
Just as a point. I mean, yeah, like
there's more diversity back then, and it was effortless. They just like did it, Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't need to pat themselves on the back. Ooh.
Yeah. It's like, look at this, and then make the whole story just about that. No, they're kicking ass. It's like Riptide just kicks people's ass. He
that's why you wanted
I need to get more in tune with my native hair. No, he just beats people up, man.
Yeah, that's all I want. Like, I don't know why they're trying to get into this. It's like, that was the comforting thing about comics. You're like, you pick your 5 to 10 characters that you really like. And then they're gonna do cool stuff and beat guys up.
Yeah.
And that's why we've gone back to those serials, and we've got, not serials, the pulps. It's like I've gone so heavy back into those. Yeah, G8. It's like I've gotten so heavy back into those that it's like, well, because it's the guys beating up the bad guys, and it's like you're not like, oh, what's going on here? Is this ambiguous or like? It's like, oh, I swear, X-Men. Like Larry Hama's writing Wolverine Patch.
Okay.
That's 4 issues.
Yeah.
Those 4 issues would have been 1 issue back in the day.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's just like I'm like Wolverine shows up, fights these guys, and that would have been the end of it. And then like the Sentinels show up or something. It's like, why is this like continuing on and on? All these stories. I'm too behind on Action Comics. I didn't even read the annual of Action Comics. I literally just
that was bad.
I didn't read it. I put it away.
Oh,
I didn't. I looked through like, this looks bad. I literally just filed it. Didn't even go back to it.
I thought because it's thick. I thought like back in the day, an annual would give you like a bunch of different stories, right? But this was like one long ass story paralleling, like Clark Kent growing up with the new Mongol growing up, and it sucks. It's boring. Why is there like mega drama and like boring ass vistas in this Superman annual? It's like, good God. Like, oh, just awful. I read the Space Age thing. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
I saw you got that.
It's a pre-crisis Superman from another world. It's like not necessarily the DC world we remember, but like, well, I liked it.
Yeah, so I definitely got that. So I'll read that. I'll read Action. I'll catch up on this stuff.
Yeah,
but like it's just like not that exciting. I've been reading Journey into Mystery.
Yeah.
And like old Doctor Strange, those Doctor Strange that I got, and I'm like, this is like way cooler. Like those Doctor Stranges, it's like he's doing something cool. This is the plot outline every time. He's doing something cool and mystical.
Yeah.
Somebody does something that requires his assistance or he needs to interfere.
Yeah.
Fights some cool being, goes to some weird realm, comes out of the weird realm for it to be a cliffhanger to something else that'll happen next time. I'm like, so it's like, it's perfect. It's like, oh, he's doing some cool thing. Like, this is awesome. Yeah. And he fights this guy, and he shoots the spells and he tricks him or something. And I'm like, yeah, this is like perfect. Like this is exactly what is like. And then you remember each issue because you're like, oh yeah, that was the one where the sons of Satanish or whatever, it's a Satanish or whatever, however you say his name. I don't know. It's like, oh, that's that one. Yeah. Like I can't remember anything. Yeah. I can't remember anything from
nothing exciting happens anymore.
Right, I'm just like, what was that issue again? Like, you start to tell me, and then when we're going through some of these 90s ones, I'm like, oh, I remember that. Even when we went back and we were doing Wildcats again,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, this was cool. There was that ship got sucked into that portal or something. I'm like, yeah, I remember this now, yeah. And you're like, this is awesome. Like, they're on, you're like, this is just a random comic.
Yeah. It's
not even a particularly good one.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like this was like some great comic book that's like Long Halloween or something. It's like, this was a generic, like, at the time we're like, yeah, that was okay.
Yeah. I miss when like a villain is like tearing up a street somewhere and like the hero comes in, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, like, back off. I'm trying to do something here. And then they fight and stuff like that. It's exciting. And that doesn't even happen anymore. And the cover would be the two guys fighting and not just like faces looking at you. It's like, it's the same thing with movie posters and stuff. It's just like blank stares, is like, or just people lined up and just staring at the camera. It's like, what's this movie about? What's this comic about? Like, do guys like, there should be a guy with like a fiery fist and another dude like trying to punch that other guy, like something awesome happening on screen and movement on the cover,
those old Doctor Strange covers are amazing. They're all mystical. Like, they could be posters.
Yeah.
All of them comics now, it's just like, I've been reading She-Hulk. Okay, so I read the first 3 issues of She-Hulk, the current series.
Yeah.
She's talking to Jack of Hearts. That's the synopsis.
What's with Jack of Hearts turning up in everything now?
I don't know. They're just sitting there talking at her apartment. She's at Wasp's apartment.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, is this what I've paid for?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe it. It's shocking. I'm like, nothing. Oh, it's character development. Okay, what did you learn about She-Hulk?
Mm-hmm.
If it's character development, what was learned? Like, if you say, oh, there's like some, I don't know, like, let's say, God, pick anybody, Han Solo. Is there character development? Yeah, there's character development. You can tell me what happens. Okay, tell me what happened in 3 issues.
Yeah, but you don't need, like, how many pages per comic now? It's like
it's like 22 or 25. Let's say 25 just to make
25.
It an
25 so pages of like, you can do a lot of that exposition in maybe a page or something, or less than a page, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're just doing random stuff.
We could do that as a topic easily.
Yeah, we're just right now. We're just kind of doing random stuff. Then every so often we come up with it. Like Sean, like today would have been going through December releases.
No, but I sent J-Man this article. I was like, are we going to talk about this or no?
Yeah, because may as well talk about some other stuff too.
Yeah.
Jack of Hearts. Yeah,
I have the first appearance of Jack of Hearts. It was in a ROM comic.
Oh gosh.
I have almost all of that, but like I have him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was lame as hell, but like apparently he's in everything now. He's in that Silver Surfer Rebirth, like, or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that I read the first one of that. That was fun, but like,
cool.
I don't know. It's an embarrassment. It's just an embarrassment, and you're paying money for this, and you're paying $6. It's like, guys, this is embarrassing, and people are fighting me on this. I'm like, you don't think this is anyone fighting me on this has not read old comics, because this is an embarrassment.
There's no perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you think this is good. It's like, but what happened in this comic? Literally, issue 2 of She-Hulk, they just talked.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe it. It's like, this would have been 1 page.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe 2 pages. I mean, Thor's origin is like 2 pages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Blake finds the hand, or finds the cane.
Yeah.
And then, like smashes it and it becomes the hammer, and then he becomes,
which is weird Thor. Because he is Thor, but whatever.
Yeah, I never got that.
And that was back then. That's not something they made up in the 80s or something like that. It's like in the 60s. It's like Odin reveals that Blake. Oh, what's his name? Donald Blake.
Yeah.
Never existed. He is Thor, made to look like Donald Blake, just to teach Thor humility, right?
Yeah, so he made him lame and all that.
Yeah,
and he made Jane Foster lame in another way, because she's the worst character of all time. Like,
women characters back then were bad, man.
Real bad.
Like, I still remember Avengers. Like, I can't remember which issue it is. One of the early issues. all the Avengers are standing around waiting for Janet Van Dyne to put on her makeup. It's the worst. He's like, it's awful.
Oh, Janet. Oh no. Do I have anything for poor Janet?
Damn it, Janet.
I don't care if he's sick. You don't shit your pants and fill in the car. That's horseshit, really.
Did you see the trailer for TNT Fubar?
Oh yeah, I saw his funny, man. It's like,
oh, yeah. You gotta watch that Bob Odenkirk thing. I've watched it like
I
5
gotta watch.
It's
that,
like five. I've literally watched it 5 times.
So
it's like he keeps talking about it. Oh, hey, Clobby, what's going on? We're looking forward to Monday. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Remember that from Office Space or whatever?
Like everywhere.
Yeah,
Could
yeah,
I guess no, hell no. Yeah.
It's like, does someone ever say that at your work? He's like, hell no. It's like they get beat up.
Yeah.
So if someone said that, they get beat up.
He gave Thor short-term memory loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole weird thing. Yeah.
Donald Blake. But yeah, I mean, and then in the Hulk TV show, Donald Blake was just a different guy who summoned Thor. Remember that?
Yeah. And Thor
was weird.
Yeah.
Wasn't that weird? Did you think that was weird as a kid? I was just like, well, I guess Thor's in it, so who cares? But I'm like, why wouldn't Thor just keep the hammer and just be done? That was so weird. Like, I understand that the guy found the hammer and then said Odin or whatever, and then Thor appears and Thor's like, oh, thanks. It's like, why would you ever summon him away? Like,
Thor acted more like Hercules in that thing. He just wanted to have fun and drink like beer, like,
Right. Yeah, that was weird. But I like that Thor. I mean, he was okay. And
I gotta watch that again. I used to watch the shit out of it, and I watched it for a while. Yeah, I have it on DVD somewhere. Yeah.
Well, at least they try to do something somewhat fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a stream on Subspecies. For sure. We're going to talk about that awesome thing. And you're right, Sean. After you texted me saying Radu drools blood all the time. There's only one scene where he doesn't drool blood.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Sean's right. It's every scene. It's like, and you're like, dude,
just lick your lips, boy. It's like, oh, okay, there it is. Like, where's it? It's like a perpetual fountain. This guy, like,
because part 2 they got the bloodstone in it. And Bloodstone is the name of a Judas Priest song, so I keep thinking like Bloodstone. I'm like, they've got to play that in the movie.
Yeah.
The weird TV Thor.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, what do you say? I love that movie. Yeah, I liked it, man. John Rhys Davies as
Kingpin. Yeah, and he had that like flying chair at the end.
Yeah, Thor is a Viking.
What?
Thor was a Viking.
Yeah.
Did you like the Hercules Legendary Journeys where it was called Over the Rainbow Bridge?
Yes.
With him and Thor together.
Yeah. I gotta get that series. I only have Xena, but I should get the.
Of course, I have both. Yeah. I liked that. Thor used to be really cool, and they've really shit that character up badly. I mean that character has like maybe fallen harder than anyone else, really. Has he fallen the hardest?
What, you mean in comics or in movies?
MCU. I'm sorry, MCU.
Oh, MCU? I don't care anymore. The thing about Thor is that he was never fully defined in MCU. They didn't really do much with him. And then they had to make him a comedy character to get him over with the audience, right? But Bloodstone Marvel comic, yeah.
That has no relation to the Bloodstone movie with Rajnikant, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. No.
Oh man, that's a great movie. I just got what did I also pre-order? Oh, we were talking about Flash Gordon last night on Action-Flix.
Yeah.
And somebody brought up Yor. I was like,
Yor. Yeah.
I like Yor. Clobberin Times also loves Yor. He's told me.
What is that song like? Yours world, he's the man. Yeah, and then he says the but I don't know what they're saying, man.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying either, but I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah.
Whatever they're saying, it's like Groucho Marx. Whatever it is.
Supposedly, that's a 4-hour movie that they cut down, and it's like a TV miniseries in Italy. I don't know. That's the rumor that it was supposed to be like a 2-part Italian TV miniseries, and and what we know as your Hunter from the Future now is just a pared down theatrical cut. I don't think that's true, but because Red Brown would have said something about that. Like, I have the Blu-ray with his commentary on it.
How awesome that is. This is the one I have, 35th anniversary Blu-ray. That's what you have, right?
Yeah, I think so. If it's the only Blu-ray, then yeah.
Yeah, that is the one.
Yeah.
Oh man, yours
world, he's the
man. Yeah, it's like
so the best part, of course, is he's staking out that one camp full of these guys, the Cro-Magnon guys, and he's gonna rescue the girl. And a pterodactyl comes and attacks him, and he kills it. And then when rigor mortis sets in, he uses it as a hang glider to fly into the camp and get the girl.
Sean, awesome. Like, look, you can get the poster original.
That poster's great, man.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got to do our. You know, it's another. So. So this is the poster that I have. This one.
Oh yeah, he's running away from the girl.
This one's cool too.
Yeah, that's the movie poster I know. Yeah.
Who's your favorite villain from the 90s? Mine is Snowflame. God, I don't know.
Wow.
I like Hellspawn from Thingy.
Oh yeah.
He looks awesome.
I always liked that like the 90s early version of Venom before they turned them all silly and stupid.
And before Eminem did the song Venom, gotta go get him, Venom time. I know what hit him. It's like they got Eminem to do a Venom song. It's like so. I do appreciate the gesture because you need to have the character's name in a song at the end of a movie.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. So I think that I do appreciate, but that movie was not very good. But no, what was I going to say? Well, I got Daughters of Darkness, but
yeah.
So like, have you seen this, Sean? Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, that poster's awesome. These old posters are just the friggin' best.
Yep.
Source the first hero to Matt Houston. Oh my gosh. I used to watch Matt Houston.
What was it before Matt Houston? I thought they hired him from Matt Houston. I guess I guess not.
Oh, look at that. That's the stash.
I know. Like the other stash guy.
And this girl, what's her name? I forgot her name. Oh my God.
That's not. Who is that?
Oh my God. I have like so many movies with her, for Christ's sakes.
Oh yeah. Not
there you go. Jesus Christ. Yes. Pamela Jensen. So she's from Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah. God.
Why is there no pictures of her from Spider-Man? I'm pretty sure she's in Spider-Man. Oh, you know what? Maybe that wasn't her. Oh no, yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it was her. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, her hair doesn't look like that though in Spider-Man.
No. Okay, but she was in so many things. Like, yeah, there she. Yeah, there. This is. Our dog.
Wait,
this is Buck Rogers.
Hot. But her hair in Matt Houston is awful. Like, it's very of that time, but like.
Okay, so she's not the one in Spider. But no, she was. I thought she was in one episode or something. But yeah, she's our Dala from thingy, Buck Rogers. But what was the other thing? Was she in Eating? No. Was she in Eating Raoul?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think so. What was the thing? I know her from a few other things too. Oh, I'm wondering if she was in. Damn it! Why am I guessing wrong on all these? There's like two women that look the same. Then Ellen Bry, yes.
There's
two girls in the Spider-Man.
Isis was in Spider-Man.
Yes, Isis. That's who I was thinking about. That's
yeah. And the thing about her is she looks modern hot. She just had a look about her that.
Yeah. That's not confusing. Oh, that's not. What am I doing here? Yeah, there you go. I own this. Of course, you own this, of course, right, Sean? Yes, you.
Yes. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, look at this. Remember how useless this guy was? Yo, dude. And they keep saying, "Oh, how come the women are all useless?" It's such a lie. When the women are heroes, the men are hyper. Joanna, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's the one I was thinking about. I mean, she like he is so useless in this show. It's like it's really. And then how about do you have oh, here's one. You have Arc 2?
I don't have Arc 2. You have that, yeah.
Okay, so here, Insider. Super Insider knowledge. I stole this costume for my character Morn.
Oh yeah.
See the kid with how the one side is red?
Yeah.
I stole that for my character.
Oh yeah. This is the one with James Doohan, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, this stuff was just before our time. Like it was probably airing when we were like
there you go.
Babies and stuff.
That's like here's a better picture of there. See, it's like the side here. So that's why I stole that from there. Oh, look! It even has this is my new short story, Paranoia.
No,
that I published. But yeah, so I stole that from my for my what's it called? Look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Arc 2. Diversity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow! You know I love the Doc Savage TV show. Doc Savage movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I was about to say like who's that? There's a Maren Jensen from the 1978 Battlestar Galactica. She's like thunder hot in that show, but she wasn't in very much after that.
What was her name in the show? What's her name?
Maren Jensen. She was
yeah, I've only seen the first 5 episodes. Oh yeah. I've only seen the first 5 episodes of Battlestar. I just got it on Blu-ray though.
Yeah.
Because actually I had it on DVD and I thought let me change it to let me upgrade it to Blu-ray. So
Blu-ray, yeah. The Blu-ray for that is cool. Like they really spruced it up.
There's 2 versions of it. You can get the full screen or you can get it morphed to wide. I'll just watch the normal version.
Yeah, I don't know.
My wife did not like it. She didn't like the old Battlestar, but I knew.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. It's like of that time, but yeah. Well, I think it's awesome, but yeah.
I highly recommend. Guys, I highly. So everyone watching right now, I cannot recommend a TV series more highly than this right now. Survivors 1975. The girl in the middle here,
mm-hmm.
This girl here, she is in like tons of Star Trek stuff. She was a Romulan. I absolutely love this character right here. Like one of my best characters of all time in anything. And then season 2 has Charles in it. And this guy's awesome. Do you know who this guy is, Sean?
No, who's
this
that?
actor?
Yeah.
He was in Batman 89.
Yeah.
He's the guy that draws the picture of the bat and hands it to Knox. He's like, Knox, I got something for you. He gives the picture. He's like, it was the bat. It's like, have you seen the Batman? And it's like a man in a suit.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then he's like, he goes, you should have put a little bit more gore into the fangs though, right? And he's like, what a dick. And he gives it that guy's this character is amazing. If anyone wants this for real, reach out to me because I can like share it for you. It is about, it's 3 seasons. It's like a virus has wiped out the planet and it's just them surviving. It is one of the best written shows ever. I'm absolutely blown away. But that girl,
he's not Eckhart, is he? Is that Eckhart?
No.
From Batman? No.
No, you know who Eckhart is?
Yeah, he's Porkins.
Yeah. No, I know him as Munson or whatever from Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah, okay, but he's like, Porkins as well. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you've come back.
Yeah.
And then he gets hit by Flash Gordon's.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a great and this here. This is Ian Fleming's niece or something, or she's a Fleming. But yeah, it was. I know. Yeah, it was, yeah.
That's funny.
But Carolyn Seymour. So you can see Clobby will know her. There she is. So that's the actress from Survivors that I was showing you. So she's from. I like this character. I can't remember her name now, but I liked her a lot in Star Trek. She was wicked. Oh, she was in this episode too. Yes, that's right.
Oh, cool.
So what else am I watching? So now we're watching I, Claudius.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this became way too. The stream became way too
sophisticated. Picard, I, Claudius.
There he is.
That's not his real hair, man.
I'm gonna pretend it is.
It's like a wig or something. Radio station announced. Wow, 97 Fahrenheit.
Wow. So I mean, I usually get a slush, or I actually get a taro slushy with tapioca, or a green apple slushy with tapioca. Wow. Have you ever had taro slushy or taro milk tea or anything like that, Sean?
No.
Oh my God, it's so.
Sounds too frou-frou for me, man.
Oh, you know what? All right, that's it. All right, you know what?
I mean, what does that say about me?
I don't know. What does it say?
It says you can shit in my mouth.
That's it. No, that's it.
It's bubble tea, no? Or no?
Well, you can get. Well, I usually do either. If I'm gonna do green tea, I'll do green apple green tea with tapioca or jelly sometimes. Yeah. And then I do usually green apple, or I'll do sometimes pineapple.
Right.
And then for milk tea, I'll do mango milk tea or taro milk tea. Those are black milk teas with tapioca. Or I'll do Arkham. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, Arkham. What's up?
And then if I'm doing a slush, I'll do taro slush or mango or pineapple or green apple, and those are all yummy.
Like chewy bits in my drinks. And
well, you don't have to get the tapioca.
In a place, right? You know, so
you don't have to get the tapioca. You can be a loser and not get tapioca. That's fine.
Do they still call it bubble tea anymore? I don't hear anyone say that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Well, I just say to make things easy. I just say I want green apple green tea with tapioca, or I'll say I want taro milk tea with tapioca.
Yeah.
They know me. I come all the time, and they I'm at the point where they charge me for a small but give me a large.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're in.
To this day, I can't think of Slurpees, like especially like cherry Slurpees, without thinking of Spider-Man. It's like those 7-Eleven cups like really did their job in marketing those characters.
What are we saying? No to the bubble teas. They're so good.
All the crap in it, man. The jelly and the tapioca.
So I've been watching. I'm rewatching I, Claudius, and there's Pickard.
There he is in all his hairy glory.
And there's John. John,
do you believe that's his real hair or no?
I'm going to pretend it's his real hair.
Yeah. I always thought it was a wig.
He's playing Caligula and John John. How do you spell his name? John Reese Davies. How do you spell
R-Y.
Yeah. So he's there. He is in Caligula. What am I saying? I, Claudius.
I, Claudius. Yeah.
This is a great show. A lot of great actors, obviously. Oh, and Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed, yeah. Did a bang up job in freaking Flash Gordon, man.
And he's also what's all this? No, oh my God, what is going on?
I know, they're just flooding the.
How are you? If this is about bubble tea, you guys are insane. You haven't tried it. That's why. You don't need to get the bubbles in it. It's just a fruit drink or whatever. The taro milk tea is literally. I give my wife a sip, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, it's so good." Okay. Like this is like, look at this. Look how many.
I know
I can fill the screen with nose. Oh my God! All right. Well,
someone slept on the enter button or something.
I'm telling you, bubble tea is good, and I'm gonna play you a clip.
Can't argue with a confident man.
That's it. Yeah, iced coffee is okay. I'm not a big coffee. I don't drink coffee actually, at all.
Coke, chocolate ice cream, and rum. Just mix it up, It's nice.
That's like, dude, that's just too Canadian. You're gonna get the fucking A shirt from. I'm gonna order you that.
Is that
shirt.
the super Canadian drink or no? Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty random. I was watching Better Call Saul, and they were talking about wine and all that. And then the guy's like, he goes, oh, we ordered this bottle for this gentleman, and then he just wanted rum and coke, and it was like, and then it's that Esposito. What's that actor's name? The mean looking guy he's in everything.
Yeah.
I think it's Carlos Esposito. Oh, that's not his name.
Thanks, Raquel. I love mixing that up when it's really hot.
Yeah, this guy. Right, so he's like he's drinking the big wine and all that, and then the guy comes, he's like, he goes, oh, this bottle's so amazing. He's like, yes, it's good. And he goes, oh, we had an extra bottle because this guy came in and then thought he was all cool ordering it, and then he ended up drinking rum and coke, and they're just like, oh, they're like super disappointed. Or
sometimes you have to go with the classics, man.
She's a great character on Better Call Saul, but I'm also watching that.
Yeah,
Cherry Coke, yeah. Cherry Coke's hard to find.
Yeah, it's more common now, Cherry Coke, but Wild Cherry Pepsi and Diet Pepsi is hard to find now. They discontinued it before the pandemic. So
yeah, iced tea I drink. Arizona, I like the Arizona iced teas.
Yeah,
they're just I just get, because I can't like, I don't know, everyone knows I lost all the weight, right? So it's like I still do my intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
I never stopped. So I lost the 105 pounds, and then I'm just so used to my wife and I.
See you, Raquel. Thanks for coming.
See you, Raquel. So I'm still on that same cycle. So I can't drink, if I drink those Arizona iced teas, which I absolutely love, there are a lot of calories, and that eats into what I can eat.
Yeah.
So I just buy 0 calorie iced tea, and I drink that all the time. I literally drink 0 calorie iced tea all the time.
When I say Coke, I drink Diet Coke. I haven't touched Coke in like 25 years or something like that. It's always because I'm diabetic, right? So anything's diet for me, right? But
yeah. So same thing, Sean. Right? We're on the same. Like
and my ice cream is like Halo Top ice cream, or and like what are the lower carb ones, right? So yeah, we can't find it, but there's I've been waiting for a chance to play. I played it once tonight, but here's a good chance to play some good drink here. I like how that stops right before it gets interesting. Yeah.
But I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Right, I'm gonna get going, and we'll get going in a minute anyway, because actually Clobby's gonna be on in what, like
at 10,
45 minutes or something. Plus, it's getting so dark. I don't have light here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when I face that way, the lighting's better. Look, it's like becoming dark. I'm like becoming engulfed.
Get a ring light.
Yeah, I know. And the problem is, if I do, I can't put it here.
Oh no.
So I have to put it on that side, so it just look weird. So I hardly use this camera. I only use it for if I need to read.
You get a stand, and it can just stand over your.
Yeah, my monitor is like the entire here. Now, you haven't been over in a while, or you haven't seen the monitor. It's like it's covering half my poster of freaking Alan Quatermain poster. Alan Quatermain and Velocity.
I get that song in my head all the time now.
And it's like there's in the trailer, like there's danger every minute, but that's just how they like it. It's like there's something like that. It's like, and it's like oh, it's like yeah. My buddy, who I won't name, once said that he thought that Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold was better than Indiana Jones. And then my other friend, Sean, literally lost his mind.
Baron Raiders or like Baron Raiders, right? Yeah.
He lost his mind. And it was the biggest yelling out. Are you fucking crazy?
Okay. Now, he thought the second one was Baron Raiders. Is that what you said? The one with Cassandra Peterson and all?
Yeah. So nobody knew Cassandra Peterson was in that movie. I was talking to Steve and Sean and Owen on their stream, and I'm like, yeah, okay. They're like, oh yeah, it's like, what, Elvira's in that movie? I'm like, Hello.
Yeah, I thought everyone knew that.
But they've watched it recently. I'm like,
Yeah.
you just saw this movie. We did a stream on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, I didn't know that was her. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, it's exactly her. Like, I can tell her. I guess they don't know her as well as I do. That
no, and she was acting. I mean, you know, she wasn't acting exactly like Elvira, but yeah.
Yeah. We gotta do it a stream. Was Elvira 1990? Hold on.
I don't know. Was it 90? It's a 90s movie, no?
Oh, it's 88. Damn it.
Oh yeah! Wow. And the other one is like 2000s.
Yeah, that one wasn't that
great. Movie sucks. Yeah, I know.
Well, it wasn't that great, is what we're sticking it with. We're not saying it sucked. We're sticking with it wasn't as
great.
It's
boring. It's which is the worst thing to be if you're in an Elvira movie, right?
It wasn't as good.
Yeah. I should watch it again. Maybe it's awesome. I don't know.
No, I don't think that it is. But it's Elvira, so
Elvira's Haunted Hills.
I can't. I pre-ordered the Monsters on Blu-ray.
I'm getting that.
It's like,
look, man, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna look cool, man.
I can't. Yeah. I got in trouble on Owen's stream because I said I pre-ordered that. They're like, why? Pourquoi?
Did you see the new trailer? It looks good now. You know.
I didn't see the new trailer. I'll watch it though.
Oh yeah.
It's Rob Zombie. I can't.
The monsters, I always love them more than Addams Family because they are monsters, right? And I appreciated the original show was black and white. It was going to be color, and the Blu-ray comes with the color palette, but they're like something doesn't feel right here, and so they just like made it black and white, and it looked awesome. It looked like the old Universal monster movies, but sitcom. And like that's great. That's perfect, you know.
Have you seen the fans? They turned the trailer into black and white. And
and because it's so colorful and there's a lot of detail and layer, it looks great in black and white.
I'm wondering if they're going to have that as an option.
Yeah, I don't know. They should. They should.
Yeah. So.
But you could do it on your own TV.
I mean, you could, but it's better when they do it. If they do high contrast, it looks really neat.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, I think that'll be it for this week. We're gonna do another stream on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll just talk about whatever. It'll be whatever comes up. If anything comes up, who knows? Monday, I'm on Clobberin Times channel. Link is in the description below. So check that out. That's it, people. Adios.
Right.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.